Hello, hello, hello. Happy New Year. I cannot believe it is 2026 and this is the first stream of the new year. So this is super, super exciting. Let me go to I haven't done this in like weeks. So bear with me as I like remember how to do everything. Okay. Let me see who we have in the chat. Boop. Okay, there we go. First, we have Leah. Hi, Leah. I hope you had a good New Year's. If you guys did anything fun for New Year's, please let me know because I was actually quite boring. What did I do? I literally stayed home because I am entering my third trimester, and then my husband actually rolled his ankle, so we were just a prego and a limp person, not able to do anything fun. So that was my New Year's. But hello, and then we also have, okay, I don't want to butcher this. Is it Kajheim or Cageheim? Please let me know so I can be better. But welcome to today's stream. I'm really excited for today's stream because not only is it the first one, but I'm also planning on working on some query letters today, which I haven't worked on query letters in a while. So essentially what happened was I sent out maybe 10 or about 10 query letters. Also, I don't know if you can hear my space heater, just in case I'll turn that off. I sent about 10 query letters right before the holidays really started amping up. So the end of November. And then a lot of people started closing their boxes. And so I haven't really been able to have much momentum because everyone's been closed for the holidays. So I'm excited to actually get a couple more query letters out there today. Which is what I plan on doing. Let me know what you guys plan on working on during today's stream, or if you're just hanging out or whatever it is that you're doing. Let's see. Leah said, I did celebrate with some friends in the countryside. Oh, so fun. I love celebrating with friends. Typically that is what I do, is I get together with friends. But yeah, just not this year. And then let's see, Gracie94 says, hi, I've been writing away for almost the last hour now. Wow, good for you. So this stream will see me through to dinner time in the UK. Oh, that's so perfect. What time is it where you're at? It is 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here. So this is a good mid-afternoon kind of stream for me. I was going to do one this morning, but then I didn't realize that Anna Robinson also had one going on this morning, and I didn't want ours to coincide. So this actually worked out perfectly. Let's see. Leah said, I did some writing also in the last hour. I want to edit chapter 27 this evening. Wow. We'll see if I can do that. But I also need to prepare dinner, LOL. Yeah, I feel that. So essentially, while we're streaming, I'm having my husband order groceries because, once again, pregnant, he's crippled. So this actually works out perfectly because we're going to order the groceries and then I'll just go pick them up after this stream. So I feel like I'm killing two birds with one stone. Gracie said, 6 p.m. here, a nice evening stream for me. Oh, perfect. So I bet you it's already dark and cozy where you're at. It gets so dark here so quick. So I still have my Christmas tree up, if you guys can see. And I'm one of those people, I need light. So I know a lot of my neighbors and stuff have already taken their trees down, but for me, I was I need the light that this thing gives me because otherwise it just gets dark here around 4 p.m. and I'm just not ready for it. So yeah. Okay, well, I am going to go ahead and start setting things up for our stream. So essentially, you guys can see on the top right hand of the screen, that's kind of what I'm going off of. And I have it set up so that you guys can actually see me go back and forth between my different screens. I thought that'd be kind of fun. Essentially, I have okay, let me explain my writing process on this. So I have a spreadsheet of people that I've already researched and have thought like, okay, this would be a good fit. This wouldn't be a good fit. You getting the behind the scenes because you can kind of see like the red is like people that I've already heard from and didn't get good news. So blue in the screen are people that I still have an open query with, but I'm going to, I think my goal today is to tackle 2 more literary agents. So I did not realize this when I was going through this, and I don't know if either of you, like what your publishing plans are, like if you plan to self-publish or indie or traditionally publish, but I didn't realize that it took so long. Like I really thought, oh, like you make a query letter and then you just send it to everyone. And that is not how it works. You really have to like do some research into the individual and like determine if they're a good fit, and if they are a good fit, why they're a good fit, and then you like need to include it in your query letter. It's like a lot of work. So I think this entire stream will take up the 2 query letters. But yes, that's kind of what I plan on working on tonight. Going back to the chat, Gracie said, nice and cozy last evening with my tree up, so I'm making the most of it. So my tree is gonna, and then Leah said, I did take out my tree yesterday. Oh my gosh. Okay, so mine's a live tree and we have scheduled pickup. So the first scheduled pickup available is 16 January, and then I think the last one is like 21 January or something. So really, if you had a live tree in my neighborhood, you actually didn't have a choice to take it down until 16 January. But even if I did, I would still just keep it up anyways. So yeah, so well, we can share my tree, guys. Leah said it basically works like a motivation letter for work. No. If by motivation letter, it's kind of like sending in your resume. I don't know, because I believe you're in France, Leah. I don't know if you guys do that the same way, but like in the US, we have like resumes that we send in, and it essentially like you tailor your resume to kind of fit the job you're going for. Like, of course, you're not lying or anything like that, but you might like highlight certain more attributes than you would like in other areas if that's kind of the person they're looking for. And it's sort of the same thing. So like, for example, one person was like, I'm really looking, here we go. I'm really looking for a revenge arc, female empowerment with history. And I was like, oh, perfect. This is a revenge arc, female empowerment and history. So I highlight that because they said on their manuscript wish list that that's what they're looking for, versus like someone else said, this person said, I'm looking for a smart retelling, which also my story is a smart retelling because it's a retelling of an ancient like Greek story. So I highlight it as that, if that kind of makes sense. Leah said, we send resume and a letter tailored to the job. Yeah, exactly. Same concept. It's literally that. But I feel like when I was looking up like query letter information, I feel like no one ever framed it that way. And maybe they did and I just like didn't see it. But I felt like before I entered the query trenches, I really looked into, okay, what is the process like? And I don't think anyone ever framed it like a job. Like literally sending in your resume, I was like, okay. So then once I did this a couple times, I was like, oh, this is what we're doing. Okay, got it. Taylor is here. Hi, Taylor. Hello. Welcome to the stream. We've just been chit-chatting about Christmas trees because I still have mine up for now, and then query letters because that's what I'm currently working on. Yes, let's show Taylor some love. Taylor said, I was just sitting down to write. OMG, this is perfect. Great. This is perfect too. And honestly, like, I'm so glad that I finally got into live streams into 2025, because I think we've talked about this, how I was just never into, I think it was me, you, and Natalie were on a live stream, and I talked about how like, oh, I've never really done a live stream before, blah, blah, blah. And I'm so glad I got into them last year because this has been great for my motivation. Like, I was like, I don't want to send these query letters. I don't want to do anything. Probably because I haven't been to work in 2 weeks. But I was like, I need to like get motivated. And if there's one way for me to get motivated, it is probably to get on a live stream. So let's see. Also loving the setup. It's so cute. I'm so glad you got into them too. Thank you. I was so like nervous because I still am pretty new to live streaming by myself. So I did, I think like 3 at the tail end of 2025. And I just remember being like, I don't know what to use. And so I just like spent some time like playing around with the setup, and I was like, you know what, I really like this. We love the pink. Taylor said the comfort of having friends there to keep you productive is the best. Yes it is. So I think, okay, I was just telling them earlier, my plan is to get 2 query letters done during this live stream, so fingers crossed on that. I'm going to go ahead and set up a timer. And I was also telling them how I was like, I haven't done this in so long. I'm trying to remember how to like do all of the like buttons, because I feel like I'm a little bit out of practice. Let's see. So typically I used to do like 30-minute timers. So I feel like a 30-minute timer would be good. Thanks, Taylor. I appreciate you. Okay. So, all right, I'm going to set up the timer. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Okay. So let's plan to do 30 minutes. You guys can, work on whatever you're working on. You guys are going to get to see me deep dive into my query letter process. Wish me luck, and we'll go ahead and start. Ding, ding, ding. I hope you guys can hear me. I feel like I haven't done this in so long. I don't remember where all the chords are. But we did our 30-minute sprint. Let me know how everyone did. Let's see. We have, you guys, I'm so out of tune with how to do everything again. We have Green Rule that said good afternoon. Oh, thank you. You can hear me. Poohoo. Woohoo. Poohoo. Woohoo. Good. I'm glad that went so well. Let me know what you did. So, okay, for me, I had a bit of a rough start because, so I thought I had picked out everyone that I was planning on querying, but that I had generated that list before the holidays, and I guess people still haven't reopened their boxes, so I actually had to just go and see if I could find somebody else. I did find someone, which I queried successfully, and then I went ahead and looked for a second person who I have found, and I'm pretty excited about. She specifically mentioned mythology, folklore retellings, so I'm going to query her in our next sprint. I'm always really excited to find people who specifically mention mythology and folklore retellings because that's what my book is about, but it's like housed under fantasy, so a lot of times I have to go through Query Tracker and like see like, okay, is your fantasy that you want like mythology kind of fantasy or something else? You know, I'm always having to like look through that kind of stuff, so it's really exciting when I can find someone who specifically says it. Also, a little bit of a hiccup is that manuscript wish list is down for some reason. I guess they're doing like a site reboot, but like when I click it, here, I'll show you guys. So you guys can see when I click it, it says they're upgrading their list and they'll be back online within the next 24 hours, which is great and all, but I'm online now. But anyways, let's see. Gracie said 377 words. Amazing, Gracie. I love that. Pretty sure I'm only still writing because of the stream, so thank you. Oh, thank you. I am so happy to be able to assist in your writing journey. Let's see. Taylor said, I got 950 words in that one. That's amazing. In 30 minutes? Oh my gosh. What are you working on? Are you working on the Venture series? Are you working on the rom-com? Do tell. I am in the process of making a video right now, but I'm trying to get back into the drafting phase and figure out my next project. So back in July, if you guys have watched that video or have been around that long, I talked about a project idea I had, and I reread her. She had about 4,000 words, and I like her. I just haven't committed to like working on her. Like I have this like silly analogy, but in my head it's like, you know, you've been on a couple dates, like you like the person, but then I ghosted them for a while because then I went and back to my ex, which is my original manuscript, and now I'm going back and like talking, you know what I mean? So I'm like trying to decide like, okay, is this like the next project I want to work on? And I haven't decided yet, and I'm probably gonna make a decision, I think, tomorrow, whether I'm going to go back to that book or if I'm just going to completely start a new project. TBD. We'll see. Gracie said, Taylor, are you even human? Right? Oh my gosh, she is killing it out here. Taylor said, I'm working on my secret rom-com. Eek! And I'm having so much freaking fun. Also, I feel like, I know you haven't like talked too much about it on your channel. I hope I didn't let the cat out of the bag. I think you mentioned it in a live stream though. So like you have mentioned it. But I know you haven't really made like a full video on it yet, which I'm really excited for the moment that you do. Okay, so, whew, my goodness, I'm like out of breath. I guess we could go into another sprint. Taylor said, no, that's all good. I have mentioned it, but I haven't vlogged anything for it or revealed anything. Well, when you do decide to reveal, we are here and excited and ready to hear more. She said, I'm fully savoring the quality time with just me in the draft. It's so true though. Like, so I talked about this in the video that hasn't come out yet because I'm currently filming it. But when I first wrote Project Crown, I really didn't tell anyone or mention it too much on my YouTube channel until the first draft was over. And I feel like that did a disservice in terms of like capturing that journey. But I feel like, one, I needed to prove it to myself that I could finish the first draft. And then two, I feel like it was really special in terms of like, it was just me and the draft there for so long. And it felt really special that way. Like, I don't know, when I started, you know, sharing it with people, it was, I don't know, I totally get where you're coming from. I really do. Taylor said, I'm so torn in wanting to vlog and having the time alone with it. Honestly, like, I think do what feels right for you. Like, you share so much of, you know, not just you, but like everyone, like on YouTube, like we share so much of our draft, and like sometimes like it just feels good to kind of keep it close to the chest, you know? So yeah. Okay. And by the way, if any of you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them in the chat, whether that's about the project, that's so true, whether that's about the project or like something you're working on, or the querying process, or writing as a craft or whatever. I feel like I'm slowly jumping back into YouTube world because, you know, the holidays. So I worked 2 weeks in December, and then I took 2 weeks off. But like during that entire time, I really didn't do any writing because, like I said, most of the querying stuff was sort of put on the back burner because of the holidays. So I feel like I'm just like jumping back into it, and it feels good. It feels good. I also think that's also another reason why it's taking me a while to decide, like, okay, what project do I want to work on next? Because like now that I've completed a manuscript, I'm like, okay, so much work went into that. Like whatever I work on next, I need to love it. I need to be obsessed with it enough to put that much work into it again. And I just don't know if I feel that way about this next project, which I don't think I've even really talked about recently what it's about. So I've been calling it Project Fox. It's essentially like it's like a mystery, which is completely different than what I was working on, because originally I was writing a myth retelling, but this one is like a whodunit. Someone dies and the protagonist has to go back home, and things don't like add up, so she's trying to figure out like what happened and what's going on. And it's been so nice in terms of like, you know, Queen of the Amazons, which is the book I'm currently querying, was so heavy in terms of like death and war and passion, and like, which is all really great. And I think Project Fox came from a place of needing to do and write the complete opposite, which was something set in current day, real world. There's still death, but it's not as dramatic, and there's no war. It's set in like DC, you know what I mean? Like it was just, it's more refined versus like, you know, ancient Greek mythology is a little bit more like rugged, you know what I mean? Like it was just different. And I think that's where Project Fox came from when I first came up with the idea. And it would be the perfect time to work on it because like it's set in the fall winter, which is like now, right? But I don't know. I just haven't. We'll see. Like I said, I'm going to decide tomorrow. Tomorrow is the day I'm going to decide. Taylor said, I feel that way about Venture in this rom-com. It's so funny and light compared to Venture. Yeah, like I think about, you know, authors. I feel like as an industry, authors get pigeonholed in what is expected to write. Like if you are a thriller writer, you are expected to write thrillers, and like branching outside of that it goes against the norm, right? Which is why I think like Rebecca Yarros, whether you like her or not, or whether you don't like Fourth Wing or not, which if you don't like Fourth Wing, but anyways, I really respect that and like admire that she started as a romance writer, she branched into fantasy, and has been able to make it work for both. Because I feel like this kind of pressure sometimes that I should keep working on a mythology book because like that's what I started with, but that's not the only thing I want to write, you know? Like yes, I will like to write other fantasy, but I don't want to just write mythology retellings. And so I don't know. So that's kind of, I guess, where I'm coming from with that is like, I feel like I have more to write in me than just mythology retellings. You know what I'm saying? Green Ruled says that's what nom de plume are for. I feel like that's a joke and I don't understand it. Nom de plume. What does that mean? I'm going to look it up really quick. Nom de plume. It means an assumed name using a writer instead of their real name, a pen name. Ah, I see. Yeah, you know, I've never heard it called that before. That sounds way fancier than a pen name. Yeah, totally. Pen names are definitely a thing. And I'm not against using a pen name or anything. Like if it came down to it, if I, you know, fingers crossed ever got agented and, you know, was able to publish and all that kind of stuff. If my agent was like, you really need to take a pen name, like fine, twist my arm, I'll take a pen name. But you know, I don't know. Anyways, Taylor says, totally agree. As writers, we really want to follow our heart. Gracie says, changing up what you're writing sounds really interesting. It is. Like, it's just fun. Like, I feel like when I step outside thinking about a different author, or different author, Lord, if I step outside thinking about a different story, I feel like I almost view the world differently because I'm viewing it from like a different lens than originally. Does that make sense? I don't know. I don't want to be pigeonholed. I guess I'm fighting that. Green Ruled says Stephen King did for Thinner and Running Man. Yeah. And I think J.K. Rowling did too. I think she took a pen name under a man's name too, I think. I could be wrong about that. Gracie said, Nom de Plume is a song in Aladdin, and now I've got that stuck in my head. Is it really? Wait, stop it. I'm going to look this up. Aladdin. It is. Oh, but it's the... What is this? Oh, interesting. Wow, I'm going down a deep rabbit hole. It's all in French. The Google page that I looked up. Wow, I just went down a rabbit hole. Sorry. We're coming back. We're back. But okay, so I think we should start on another sprint. My goal during this sprint is to get another query letter done. So fingers crossed for that. Let me get my timer set up over here. And ready. And I will see you guys on the other side. And we're back. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Woohoo! Another sprint complete. That was pretty successful on my end. Let me know how that was for you guys. Let's see. Let me open this up. While we were away, Natalie joined us. Hopefully Natalie is still there. Hi, Natalie, if you're still there. Yeah, so during that stream, I was able to finish the query that I started earlier. And then little tidbit, like when I first started querying, I did not want to write a synopsis because it felt like so much work. And I went ahead and did it based off of some feedback that KM Fajaro, the YouTuber who wrote Local Heavens, she said in one of her videos, like, she didn't want to query people who requested synopsis, and she recommended just doing it ahead of time. So I did do that, and I'm so glad I did that because a lot of people have requesting synopsis, and that last agent that I worked on for this query letter on this last sprint requested it. So I was just so glad that I could just like copy and paste my synopsis in there. And then I finished it off on this sprint by finding the next person who I want to query whenever I sit down and query and do another round. And I was so excited because she didn't necessarily say mythology, but she wanted someone who has a story like I, Medusa, which I don't know if you've seen that book, but I love this book. You know what? I have it on my bookshelf. Hold on. This is a stunning book. Okay. Look at this book. She's so pretty. Like, I'm obsessed with this book. So this book came out last month by a woman named Ayana Gray, and it is a Medusa retelling, and it essentially takes like the story of Medusa and shows it from her point of view and how she wasn't like a bad person. Loved it. So when I saw that this agent wanted someone like that, I was like, bet, I got you. So anyways, really excited about that. Okay, checking into the chat. Taylor said, hello. I finished the chapter I was working on and made me a little lunch. Oh, yummy. That was a great sprint. Amazing. What are you having for lunch? I had, before starting the sprint, I had toast and eggs, which probably isn't the best lunch, but it was easy and it was right there. So Natalie said, I'm here relaxing before I write a little later. Amazing. Hi, Natalie. I'm currently working on my synopsis and can confirm it is the worst. Yes, like when I wrote my synopsis, I literally went down such a deep Google hole on like how you're supposed to write it. And, you know, there's like tips and stuff out there, but there's something about just like giving all the spoilers on one paper and just like wanting to vomit because I'm just like, what do you mean? I've spent like years of my life working on this thing and you want me to condense it into like one page and give you all the spoilers. Like, that's just so rude. Taylor said, I had a little Kraft mac and cheese cup. Haha, not phenomenal, but warm and delicious. I feel that. Sometimes these days I'm just looking for ease and comfort over like anything that, yes, it may be delicious, but it's like hard to make. I actually did this thing this week where like I have this page and I just have like all the dinner meals that are like really easy to make. And so now when I like think about, okay, what am I going to eat this week? I just like literally pull from it like it's a menu because I know how to make those off the back of my hand and I just can't be bothered to learn new recipes right now. Natalie says, for me, the hardest part is trying to figure out what is important to mention, what isn't. Yeah, so definitely. Like for me and my synopsis, so my story is dual POV, which, yeah, Natalie, you beta read it. So like, you know totally what my story's about. But it's dual POV and like when I was, because you have to fit it within like a certain condensed time. And I was like, okay, is the love interest for the daughter worth mentioning? Because it's not the primary love interest and there's like so many other things going on. And just now when I was like putting the synopsis in that query package, I was like, that second love interest isn't really mentioned, but like I don't think I have the words to be able to fit it in there. You know what I mean? So like I totally get it. It's just so annoying. And I've written like 9 different versions of my query letter. I have only written one version of my synopsis. So like maybe I'll end up writing another version later that does include it in there. But yeah, my query letter, I've rewritten it so many times. It's embarrassing. Taylor says that's such a good idea. Yes. So I don't know where I put it, but I got this new agenda for 2026, and in there, excuse me, words are hard. In there, it has like a whole page dedicated to like what you're having to eat that week, which honestly, like I needed in my life, and I didn't know that because I just like can't be bothered. I'd like food. What is she? Like, I know I need her, but I don't want to think about it. You know what I mean? Like, I just want food to appear. Like, you know, I do miss, that is like something I miss living at home. And maybe that's what happened is like I went home from the holidays and like my mom just fed me the entire time and I got out of the practice. I don't know. But now I just like can't be bothered to think about food, and I'm going back to work tomorrow, which sad. And I'm like, okay, I have to like think ahead of time what I'm going to eat. So that's just something that I'm trying out. They said, OMG, that is something I need. I legit feel the same way. Yes. Oh, so it's from a girl on TikTok, which that was my very first TikTok purchase. Hopefully, you know, they don't like take my credit card info and give it to the highest bidder. But it was from a shop called The Daily, Dailee. And it's a thick planner, like definitely the thickest I've ever had, but she's so like, 'cause she's a small business, was so thoughtful in everything that she put in it. I find that I'm like really reaching for some of those additional things that she added in there besides just like the agenda part, like, you know, the meal planning. I'm like, oh, this is great, like why didn't I think about this before? So anywho, I guess this makes up our Sunday sprint, y'all. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I was like, you know, I really need to write some query letters and I really just don't want to. So I was like, let me do a live stream. I'm hoping to figure out my next project here soon, fingers crossed, and then hoping to do more live streams. And I'm hoping to also have guests on my live streams in the future coming up too, because I'm new to this whole live streaming thing, but I think I figured out a way to like have guests. So I'm figuring that out. And hopefully you guys will see that in the future too. So Taylor says, thank you so much for the stream. This was great. Yes, thank you so much. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your Sunday. And I will see you guys in another one. Bye.